Okay, let's start putting together our HTML and our CSS. So let's head over here, and what we're gonna do essentially is, let's see here, we're gonna create this nav bar here, and this little bubble, which is essentially just an image that changes its scale. And then this text here, what we're gonna do, if you can see here, they kind of pop out from, looks like out of nowhere. So what essentially this is just a H2, and in the H2 we have a span. And what we do is we add overflow hidden to the H2. So when we shift over the text to the right, it's gonna look like it's invisible. So it's a good way to easily mask a text. So let's set this up quickly. Let's go over to the body. So again, I'm just gonna keep this nav simple. Just have a nav with a H1 of logo, and I'm gonna say skin care. And hit save. Okay, puppy's very thirsty now. We're gonna create a hero section down here. And essentially this is where our image goes in. So dots, source is gonna be /. We're gonna grab that hero PNG, JPEG, GPG, I don't know what I wanted to say there. And then add a class of hero image. Okay, and hit save. Don't make fun of me in the comments. Thank you very much. Okay, so in here, we're also gonna add a call to action div, and this is gonna hold our text and our button. So essentially here, we're gonna split this up into 2 more divs because I wanna animate them individually. So as you can see, we have, this is gonna be one of our sections. So I'm gonna name this CTA text, and this is gonna be another CTA text. So as you can see, they're animating in at different speeds. So that's mainly the only reason why I'm splitting them up and adding different class names to them in just a bit. So CTA text, hit tab, and in here, I'm gonna have a H2 like this with a span that's gonna have a class of CTA1. And again, I'm just gonna add different class names to them so I can animate them individually. So I'm gonna call this 1, and then I'm gonna just duplicate this 2 more times. How do I duplicate it 2 more times? That's not the one. There's a shorthand command, which I totally forgot now. So I'm just gonna Control C and paste this 2 more times. I'm gonna change this to stop, this one to shop, and I'm gonna add CTA2 here and CTA3 here. Okay, and I'm just gonna duplicate this whole section 1 more time down here. Just add 4, 5, 6. Again, only reason just so I can just so I can grab them in GSAP and animate them. Okay, so next up, we'll just add the button. So that's gonna go, let's see, so after this text in here, so after the CTA text. So we're gonna add the button with a class of CTA button. We're just gonna add the text of explore to it. Alrighty, so let's see what we have so far. I'm gonna open up Chrome. So this is the finished one. So I actually need to open it up in Live Server. So let me do that really quickly. Well, let's go over here and just open with Live Server. There we go. It's gonna open it up in Safari. So I'm just gonna quickly paste it in over to Chrome. Let's paste it here, and there we go. That's what we have. Let me close this up to give more space. Perfect. So let's start styling this up a little bit. Let's head back over to our code. Don't show again, don't show again. Should have done that probably a long time ago, but it's okay. So let's grab the nav. I'm just gonna add a small height to it, like 10 VH. Display flex and justify content center and align item center is gonna drop it straight in the middle. So let's add these. All right, let's take a look at it. There we go, perfectly centered. Now we're gonna make that text a bit smaller because it's quite ginormous. So let's grab it. Let's grab the logo. We'll do a font size of 1.2 rem. And add a color of RGB. We're gonna make it 33, 33, and 33. Just a little grayish color is gonna make it look a bit nicer. Am I zoomed in here? Because this looks super large to me. Huh. Let's see here. Let me do inspect. Get out of this mode. No, I think so. I think it's fine. Okay, let's close it back up. All right, let's go back here. Let me actually see if this font size works. Might have now linked my style sheet again. 5. Yes, okay. It did work on it did work on the nav, so I might have mistaken the logo. Yeah, look at that. Logo. Okay, logo. Well, and now we can do it 1.2. There we go. That looks much better. Okay, next up, let's grab the hero section. So I'm going to do hero section. I'm going to add a height of 80 VH and a bit of margin on the left and right side. So top and bottom is going to have 0% and left and right is going to have 10%. Now this image is extremely large, so what I need to do is grab it and just set the width and height to it to 100% so it scales to the hero section. So hero section image, like that. And I'm just going to add a width and height of 100%. Okay. Width 100 and height 100. Perfect. Hit save. Now that looks okay. The problem with this is since we're forcing it to have a specific aspect ratio, it's when we're resizing it, you might have this squishiness going on here and the image is not going to look scaled properly. So as you can see, if I go that like that, look at that, that looks horrible. So to fix this issue, all you need to do is add an object fit of cover. And what's that going to do is initially going to keep the image's aspect ratio, and it's just going to zoom it in so it doesn't look stretched out. So object fit, and do cover on this and hit save. So now take a look. When I rescale this, as you can see, it does not mess with it. Perfect. So next up, let's grab the CTA, which is our text section essentially. And what I want to do with this is just place it on top here. So we're going to use position absolute. Position absolute. We're going to do top 50 and left 50 to put it in the middle. Like that. And now all I need to do is to shift it over by 50% using transform and translate. -50, -50. And hit save. I'm going to change the color to white. Like that. And we're going to add a display flex, a flex direction of column, and an align items of center, and hit save. So there we go. Now what I need to do is take the CTA texts and just add a display flex on it because they're all in a column now. So CTA text, display flex, and change the font size to 2 rem. So there we go. That's pretty close already. So next up, what I want to do is I want to target the span now and just add a bit of padding to them. So CTA text span, I'm going to change the padding to 0.4 rem on the left and right side to separate the text a little bit like that. Perfect. Next up, I want to add a little bit of a text shadow here. So text shadow, I'm going to do RGBA. So this is the color of it. So 000 is going to be black and 0.4 is going to be the opacity there. And next up we have the direction. So the first one is going to be the X. The next one is going to be the Y. And the next one is going to be the blur. So essentially I want it to be right on top of the text with a 20 pixels of blur, just to separate it a bit from the background. All right, and that's it. Then we're going to grab the CTA button. And I'm going to add a margin of 1 rem to that. Hit save. And just add a bit of styling to the button to not make it look ugly. So 0.5 rem on the padding and 2 rem. So there it is. Get rid of the borders. Change the color to white. So background white. Font family. We're going to do Poppins. There we go. Border radius. I'm going to do 0.3 rem. Change the color of it to that RGB that we used before, which is the 33, 33, 33. And that should be it. I'll remove the border place that to none and hit save. And that's what we have. I guess what we can do is just change the font size and make it a little bit smaller. 0.7 rem should look just fine. So there we go. So that's all the setup that we need here. Yeah, that's literally all the CSS. So we can start animating this in the next episode. See you there. Ew.